were sort of suggesting that these figures were in view a while ago. 6 weeks ago, you were saying that
when I launched on the money in September, I was saying that inflation was a big deal. It was going to hit double digits. The Bank of England's now acknowledged that inflation, CPI inflation, consumer price index, headline rate of inflation will be 10% or more by the end of this year. And if that is the case, Colin, that's the highest rate of inflation since 1982, talking about the Cold War. So it's a very difficult situation we're in because the Bank of England now belatedly is raising interest rates to bear down on inflation, to try and slow down spending by consumers and firms at a time when the economy is slowing anyway, at a time when the conundrum is made a lot more complex by this war in Ukraine, which has put rocket boosters on both fuel and food prices. So I'm not saying it's easy, it's very, very difficult, but we do now face the very real danger, it gives me no pleasure at all to say it, that the Bank of England, to rein in inflation and convince the world that we're not just going to get lots more inflation, then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, workers push for higher wages, firms put prices up because they think their inputs are going to become more expensive. We face the very real possibility that in pushing down on inflation, the bank could actually tip the economy into recession when you have a successive quarters of economic shrinkage.
And is this inflation price realistic? I mean, the producer price inflation...
20%.
30%, I read in an economic report today.
The latest... You're right. We're both right. The latest official number for PPI, Producer Price Index, is 19.2% in March, OK?
Yeah.
You're exactly right, Kathy. Characteristically, industry surveys, preliminary inflation numbers of 30% producer price inflation, particularly in the agricultural sector.
Yeah,
Colin, it's fertiliser, fuel and finance. The three Fs, excuse my French.
We have a farmer on every week.
Of farming. You've been covering it on your show. I've been covering it on my show. I think GBNews has done very well on this story. And those three Fs are all a lot more expensive for farmers. And three expensive Fs for farmers means the final F, food, is more expensive for all of us.
We're just doing a story there about the importance. What is the most important thing that the nation state does? Keeps its people safe. Second most important thing, keep them fed. Food security. Liam, for now, thanks very much indeed.